What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly back for another review for you. Today we are looking at this little banger. This is called the X-Iron. I'm pretty sure it's called the X-Iron. It's a little pod kitty thingy. So you got a little pod here, you got a little battery section, you got some airflow and a button and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive down and we're going to take a very quick look around this thing. Then we're going to jump back up top here. We're going to discuss the pros, we're going to discuss the cons, the price, and I'll give this thing my rating. So stick around and watch this video. Do not forget to smash that like button for me. I'd also appreciate a subscribe if you feel free. Subscribe. It's free. It's a good option there for you. Don't forget to click that little bell icon as well so you get notified when I release new videos. That's about all I've got for this section. Let's get into the up and close. Okay, here we have a closer look at that Vaporesso X-Iron. It is 93 millimeters tall, it is 46.5 millimeters wide, and it is 27 millimeters deep. So this thing has a 1500 milliamp hour battery. It does 5 all the way up to 50 watts. Let's take a quick spin around it. Look at that, look at the design. So you've got this awesome kind of X chassis. It's made of some sort of metal, and then you do have this texture rubberized sort of filler in the middle. Makes it very comfortable to hold. Very, very good looking little device. But let's take it from the top. At the top here you got your little mouthpiece for the pod. This is your little fill system for the pod. You just put your fingernail in here, you rip it open like so. Got a pretty massive fill pod. I like that. The pod does slide out like so, and this is what the pod looks like. So the pod will hold anywhere from 2 to 5.5 mils. It is plug and play coils. It runs the GTX coils, so you can get a plethora of different coils from them. This one here is the 0.3. It's good from 32 to 45 watts, but a decent little coil. The airflow, as you can see, comes in through the bottom and then out through the top. Pretty standard, held in place inside the device with some pretty beefy magnets. That's what it looks like on the inside, and it does clip into place like so. Now the thing I really like about this, embedded in the overall aesthetics, is a viewing window for the pod, so you can see how much liquid you got rocking in there. I think that's pretty decent. So the battery itself, let's take a look down here. You've got a nice clicky and swooshy little fire button. Look at that thing. I could skate off that. Pretty nice. Down the front here you do have a 0.69 inch OLED display. Tells you everything you need on here. There you go, battery level indicators, you got wattage, you got all that sorts of good stuff. You've got your up and down buttons, and it does go up and down in 0.5 watt increments. Loving that. USB-C charging right there. Now to get into the menu system, you simply hold down the up and down buttons, and then you can cycle through all of the little menus that they've got. They don't have many, which is great. Variable voltage, variable wattage, they've got smart variable wattage and exit. Let's just get out of that. So you don't have a lot of stuff to worry about. Pretty bloody simple. Underneath, some battery venting, usual underneath shit. And then the potentiometer on this side, which is your airflow. So you can cut your airflow down very, very simply. Now, bear in mind, you do need some bloody nails, because it is a little bit difficult to grab it and turn it. There you go. So now she's cut down. You can see I've got that little airflow right there. And if I turn it, and I keep turning it, there we go. Now, it does have some knurling on the side of the airflow, as you can see, but it's not that, it doesn't protrude that far. So it does make it a little bit difficult for someone like me who doesn't have, a great deal of nails to grab it. But that's That's kind of it. Nothing really much more to this. It doesn't need to be. It's a very simple pod mod kit, and in its simplicity, it does what it needs to do, which is produce vapor, and it does that very well. So let's take a look at the packaging. And this is the box that everything comes in. You got a picture on the front, you got some details down here. There's a little bit on the back. Pause that and have a read. But we're not here for the box, we're here for what's inside. So what do you get in this packaging? Boom. All right, let's take a look. You get a spare 0.8 ohm mesh coil head. This is the GTX as well, and it's good from 12 to 20 watts. You get a spare round 510 drip tip as opposed to the one that comes on the device, which is, I don't know what you'd call that, but not round. That's about as good as it's gonna get from me. There you go, very descriptive. I know I just go the full bottle, don't I? I paint the picture. There you go, 510 drip tip. You get a braided USB-C charging cable. You get one of them user manuals. Ooh. You get a warranty card. And you get the authenticity. All right, that was a look around the Vaporesso X Iron. Let's jump back up top, do the pros, cons, price, and if I would recommend this or not. All right, so we had a quick look around it, quick up and closey. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take it for a vape. I have got the 0.3 ohm coil head in here. It is running at 40 watts. The airflow is fully open. Let's do this. Oh yeah, it works and it works pretty bloody well. So let's talk about the pros and the cons. So there are some pretty good pros for this thing. It has some pretty sensational flavor. Vaporesso, again, with those coils and the flavor that you get off those coils, they have knocked it out the park. Absolutely great flavor. The airflow is nice. It's got that airflow adjustability on it, which is as opposed to the PM80 where you had to stick little grommets inside. This has got a little potentiometer and you just turn the airflow. Very quick, very easy, very simple. I love that about it. It is very well made and it looks very cool. I love the way this looks. The design elements, it just flows really nicely. I think it looks pretty good. It's kind of exactly what I would imagine an X-Men to vape on, and I'm a huge fan of X-Men, so it gets a tick in my book. The other cool thing is that there's not too many features on this thing, so you don't have to worry about it. Before in the past with some Vaporesso stuff, you know, instead of having like the variable wattage as one of the regular components in the broader menu, so to speak, it would be in the DIY. Well, they've got rid of all that crap, all the stuff you don't need, and they've just kept the menu system very short. And all in all, it's just a pocket-friendly little device, and I dig that about it. It's kind of like a little carrier, you know? There hasn't been many that have kind of been this shape in the past. They're usually taller and longer, and I dig that this is kind of pocket-friendly and just good. All right, so let's talk about the cons. Two real small little nitpicky cons for me. One being this airflow and just where the airflow is situated. You really have to be mindful if you do thumb fire it, watch you don't put your finger over the airflow hole and vice versa. I usually hold my thumb here and I jam my thumb right up against it so I know I'm not gonna block it. But when I started using this thing, I found I was cutting off that airflow a little bit, so just be mindful of that. And the second thing, which is not really a con, is it's only 1500 milliamp hours. It could be a little bit more, maybe that 1800, 2000, would just give you that little bit extra battery life. And you could probably fit that sort of battery in here without compromising the size too much. So Vaporesso, just something to consider, maybe a little bit more battery life. They were the two kind of little cons that I had with this thing. That's about it. Let's discuss the price. So what is the Vaporesso X Iron gonna set you back? A little bit of Google foo around the internet. Yeah, and I found it on sale in the States for 38 bucks and here in Australia for $50. $50! What? That is a remarkable price for something as good as this. I would just go and get one, honestly. You don't even need to know my rating system because I'm just saying go and buy one. It's pretty bloody good. But we will do the rating nonetheless. If I had to give this thing a rating at best device ever, worst device ever, nothing in between, just best or worst, it is going in that best category. Small, pocket-friendly, flavorful, well-built little device. Vaporesso, killing it with this thing. It's a great, great little device. I really like using it. I really enjoy using it. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoy it. Like always, please like, please share, please subscribe. Remember YouTube, keep it cloudy.
A Gotta Slut production.